What's going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here with a special video, and I know a lot of you, have been with me for quite a long time, a fan of mine, been watching my stuff ever since I, started here on YouTube back in 2008. And I also know a lot of you are, maybe recent people who have jumped on in the past year, and I am so grateful, for the fan base that I do have. But what I want to do is take an opportunity to make a special video and think back. Think back over the course of my YouTube career. Think back especially over the past year, because many of you may not know this, but today is actually the 1-year anniversary of when I was laid off from my full-time job of 5 years, and I basically came home that day and reassessed my life and said, what am I going to do with myself and with the rest of my life at this point? That was a job where I really invested a lot of time and effort, and I had thought that maybe that would be my career for the rest of my life. 5 years in one job is something to be spoken for. And yeah, and when I was laid off, it just completely took me aback. I had no idea that was coming, and I came home and kind of just took a tally of my life and said, what am I going to do from here? And it was on this day that I decided I was going to try to do this YouTube thing full-time and basically become a full-time hardcore gamer. And I know that sounds really weird. It even sounds really weird to me still, even after doing it for a year. It's something to be said for America that there is or I should say the United States, but that there is a country in the world where you can take something that's a hobby, and as long as you have talent and you work hard, that you can actually turn it into a way to support yourself. And there are a lot of people that I want to thank. First of all, I want to thank all of my fans, my outstanding, amazing fans. Obviously I couldn't do any of this without my fans. Or, even some people who might not consider themselves fans, just viewers, people who watch my videos, okay? You guys and gals, obviously I have female fans as well, have really kept me going. And there have been some dark times, there have been some really shitty things that have happened to me. As you know, this has not been an easy ride. It's been quite a bumpy road with a lot of roadblocks, a lot of things that had to be overcome. Whether it was having my channel almost get completely shut down on YouTube due to false copyright claims, whether it was getting kicked out of the partnership program with Google because they basically didn't believe that I had the fan base that I did and thought that I was abusing the system, whether it was getting kicked off Blip TV because trolls were actually sending false complaint emails to them just to try to get me off the service, dealing with all these jealous people, these entities, and it's funny. You think that the kind of people that there are in this world, the people who actually spend dedicated time just to try to be negative about me, okay? People who are actually subscribed to my YouTube channel so that as soon as I put up a new video, they can rush to the page and put a thumbs down on my video. I mean, the video could be 30 minutes long. It's been out for 1 minute and they thumbed it down. Of course you didn't watch the video and legitimately give it a thumbs down. But there are people out there who are maliciously trying to just hurt people who are doing well, okay? For whatever reason. And just having to deal with all that, it's been quite a bumpy ride, okay? But at least I hope, through all these trials and tribulations and things that we've encountered over the past couple of years, that I've at least done my job being an honest person, a loyal person, someone who shows the appreciation to the fans, and someone who's willing to grow. I could have easily just done the things that, the popular stuff that everyone wants me to do, okay? But that wouldn't be true to myself. Every day I get requests, Phil, why don't you play Minecraft? Phil, why don't you start vlog series or do this or that, which is what all other popular YouTubers do. Why aren't you holding contests where, thumbs up and like my video and leave comments, and so I can get to the front page and you might have a chance to win something from me and basically game the system to try to become more popular. Keep in mind, I could do that because my income is based off of views. So the more views that I get by getting a video on the front page, I get paid for that, okay? But I don't do that. That's not the kind of person I am. I've always been an honest person about who I am, how I feel about certain things. I'm not afraid to say anything, and sometimes I end up being so outspoken that gets me into trouble. But other times, especially this past year, a couple times, it's gotten me noticed in the mainstream, whether it was for my Duke Nukem Forever honest review where I tore apart the gaming media and told them they were all completely irresponsible, whether it was my criticism of PlayStation Magazine and telling them that they were journalistically irresponsible with their own review system and that no one should ever be using them to judge the quality of a game because their rating system is broken, whether it was notifying everyone about Bill S.978 and the threat that it is to everyone on the internet when in regards to gaming videos or anything of the sort, and that our government is actually out of alignment with what the reality of technology is, and they don't realize that they might pass a bill that could hurt millions of people who use the internet and thousands of businesses who exclusively do video content on the internet, okay? But yeah, I really feel that, you know, the reason that I've been so successful is because I try to stay true to myself. When these things, these roadblocks and these hindrances come up, I don't give up, and I have such an amazing fan base to feed upon for positivity and support. I mean, let's face it, in 1 year's time, let's just think about this, put this in perspective. In 1 year's time, since I started doing this full time, I have a successful website that is completely run by non-for-profit people. You know, you've got Chris and Teo, who are the originators of the website and own the site. You've got Foos, who's done significant amounts of programming on this site, revamping it continually and making it such a better site. In fact, I think the website is down partially today for maintenance. And just so many people, you know, who have been so good and positive with me, you know, and just pushing me along at times, you know, when stuff sucks. You know, people are there to support me, and I appreciate it so much. And I hope that at least by being the honest person that I am, by giving you this free content, by the way, you know, I don't charge for anything I've ever done. I don't plan on ever charging for video content or anything like that. My videos, as long as, you know, I can stay in this business model, will always be free on the internet, and I don't see any reason to change that. But also other things that I think I've done to go out of my way to participate with the fans, whether it's the Ask the King series, where I answer fan questions, which I definitely don't have to do. And by the way, it doesn't really get a lot of views in comparison to my gaming videos, and it takes a significant amount of time to do it. In fact, the ones I did yesterday took me about 3 to 4 hours to read through questions, do the Twitter questions, answer and film, and then encode, and then upload. It takes a long time. It takes a lot out of my day when I could have been doing other stuff, but I feel it's worth it to give back to the fans. Or the fan appreciation days that I did this past year, where I actually had entire weeks where I set up to play with the fans, and every day we would play a different game together, and I even had to suffer through the horrendous fucking PlayStation Network's menu system, you know what I mean, where it's a nightmare to try to invite anyone to a game. I still stuck in there and did it. So, and also branching out, you know, there are a lot of games this year that I tried out that normally I probably wouldn't have done if it weren't for the fans saying, hey Phil, why don't you try Madden? Hey Phil, why don't you try FIFA? Why don't you try this Gaia? Why don't you try these genres of games that you've never touched upon before? You may find something there that you like, and it might be entertaining. And actually, most of the time, yeah, it actually really is fun to try. Like, this Gaia 4 is a game I would have never touched. Never. Catherine, probably a game I would have never touched. But just trying out these new series of games have become... It's a transformative thing for me to try out new stuff, and I'm growing and I'm learning, and I think you know, people are along for the ride and they're enjoying it as well. So thank you so much to the fans who support me through thick and thin, who are there for me on the good days, who are there for me on the shitty days, whether I'm playing a great game, a bad game, people who just stick in there and you know, they watch my stuff and they give me good feedback. And keep in mind, there's a difference between good feedback and criticism and just being a troll and being insulting. So I do appreciate constructive criticism. You leave something, you know, Phil, maybe you could have done this better. Phil, here's how to help you play this game. That's different than, Phil, you suck at this game, you know, why are you playing it? You're an idiot. You are horrible at games, blah, blah, blah. That's completely not needed, and it doesn't help any. You know, I like constructive criticism. But thank you to all of you who have been there and to support me. And it's amazing. It's amazing for me to say, for 1 year, I've played video games for a living. And I'm successful at it. Right now, I am in a really good place. In this past year, I've been able to not only support myself, but I've been able to invest in better equipment to improve video quality. I've been able to do lots of new co-op gameplay because I've been able to invest in different things that have been going on. Look at what we've done with things like the live streaming of games at don'tblowthis.com. a new local tournament series that's been started up, new challengers that we're now streaming at, you know, on a regular basis. Hell, John Rambo now has a nice successful YouTube channel. I look back at his channel and I say, wow, about 2 years ago, that's where I was. Who knows, you know, where he can go with his channel could go huge too. Yeah, and just saying, you know, I've been able to support myself, and now it's looking so positive that maybe next year we can grow even more. I'm actually looking to do bigger and better projects next year, things that are related to gaming but won't necessarily be video game playthroughs. I might start doing other stuff. It all depends, and that's in the works, but that's just a consideration. And the fact that I'm even considering getting my own office so that I can start doing this more professionally, have a better, you know, place to film. You might be able to put in effects and things in my videos, be able to have setups a lot easier. Imagine having 4 setups just ready to go. So if there's a 4-player co-op game, me and my friends drive over there and we just sit down and play. Now we're here trying to fucking hook something up here, and then we gotta try to connect over the internet. Oh, the internet doesn't work and all that shit. You know, it's amazing in 1 year's time how much this stuff has grown. And even look at my DSPGaming page. I mean, it has more channel views now than my original Dark Side Phil page. It has almost 100 million total video views, which is very close to the total views over at Dark Side Phil. And I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers. I'm at 90, or as of today, I'm just under 92,000, I believe. And that's something to be said, because I know for a fact that thousands upon thousands of people don't subscribe to my page because of the way that YouTube's stupid subscription page works, and they don't like their inbox being flooded with the amount of videos that I put out. But it's amazing. It's amazing the growth and the potential, the things that have happened in this past year and how it's changed my life. Now, the one other thing I would like to say before we move on and I talk a little bit more about what I've been doing, I want to say thank you, especially to Hutch, who works over at Machinima, and to Machinima in general, because, you know, I tried doing stuff for myself as much as I could, you know, and, you know, as a person who's trying to do something revolutionary, you know, no, I'm not the only person who makes videos on YouTube full time, but I like to think that I am an originator. I've been doing it for over 3 years now, and, you know, I like to do things my way. We all know that. And originally when I was with YouTube and under their partnership program, I didn't even have my gaming stuff tied into any kind of revenue stream. I was doing everything out over on my partner channel, The King of Hate HD, and I was doing cooking shows, DSP Tries It series, just stuff to just get videos out there that I thought people would enjoy, but also so that people would, you know, see stuff that was on the partner channel and I could make some money. And, you know, that didn't work out. For whatever reason, Google decided, they said, oh, there's no way, you know, that this could be legitimate, that this guy could be having this many people watch his videos or be interested in the ads on his videos. And so they kicked me out of the program after a couple months, and by the way, stole money from me because they actually owed me 2 more months worth of money, which they never paid me. And then going off of YouTube because I really didn't see any other way to make money on YouTube, and going over to Blip TV, which is a YouTube competitor, and having to deal with all the problems that were over there. You know, how many problems there were with just the loading of videos and things like that. And, you know, that worked out pretty well for a month. And then, unfortunately, like I said, those really crazy, really mentally ill fucking people who just can't stand seeing someone be successful, sending fake complaint emails to, like, the higher-ups of this company and getting me kicked off of their business for complete bullshit. It's absolutely insane that that happened. But during these times when, you know, I was getting shot down left and right, being able to do this the way I wanted to do it, I finally contacted Hutch at Machinima. And if you don't know the history, basically we did have like a little tiff earlier in 2010, where what had happened was, a long time ago, we're talking back in like the end of 2009, Machinima had reached out to me to become a Machinima director. Now what that means is I would have to make a video and put it on their page, the Machinima Respawn page, and people would see it, and based off of the views on that channel, you know, I would get paid a certain amount of money. Problem was, they weren't going to put up my playthroughs. No one wants to, they were going to upload 30 parts of my playthrough. In fact, they only upload like 10 videos a day over there anyway. So there was no way that they would be able to put an entire playthrough. And at that time, that's all I was doing. And I explained to them, listen, I like the fact you're offering me a contract or whatever, but I don't think this is going to work for my business model, for what I'm doing with my videos. I don't have the expertise to do a really nicely edited 30-minute, detailed video that people will probably want to watch on Machinima Respawn. I'm more of doing something else. And they assured me, oh, don't worry about it, just go ahead and sign the contract, which I did. And then it turned out it didn't work for what I wanted to do, and so I just stopped talking to them, and I never sent them any videos. And I talked about this in 2010 in one of my Ask the King videos, incidentally, and I guess Hutch got wind of it and got all mad because he misunderstood what I was saying. He thought that I was like bad-mouthing the company and saying all kinds of stuff, which I really wasn't. I was just saying we didn't come to an agreement business-wise on what exactly kind of content I would be able to provide them, and therefore it didn't work. So we had this little argument, whatever, in 2010, and then we let it go. And then after the whole Blip TV incident, I had enough. And basically I went to Hutch and I said, listen, man, water under the bridge, but I see that you guys are very successful on YouTube, and I've had enough. I've tried to do this now for 3 months by myself since I was laid off, and Google fucked me, and now Blip TV's fucked me, and I'm tired of getting fucked, pretty much. I want to know if there really is a company out there who's willing to work with me. You know what kind of content I put out. I put out video game playthroughs and every once in a while video game reviews. So what gives? What would you have available? Is there anything available that you guys could do for me? And Hutch, knowing who I was, went and talked to the people over at Machinima, and next thing you know, I got signed up under their partner program, and that's why you see ads on all of my videos now on DSPGaming and DSP Street Fighter. I get paid per video view. So it's great because previously, yes, I was doing the gaming footage, but then I had to work on other stuff like DSP Tries It and Cooking with the King, and I couldn't really focus. I wanted to focus on the gaming stuff, and I couldn't because I had to do these other videos for the partner channel. Now, being with Machinima's partnership program has allowed me to focus on what I'm doing, and I really think that in the past year, I've been able to do way more games than ever before. I think my reviews are now becoming, my views in general on the gaming industry, but also my reviews of games are becoming much more well respected, and people are coming to me to basically find out what the real deal is on a game, as opposed to some mainstream reviewer who either got paid off, has to inflate their score so they can get another copy of the future games from this company to review, or, they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about, which we've seen many times this past year. So, that being said, the people at Machinima have been great, and, my contact, I just want to give him a shout out, Anthony Rogers. I believe he is one of the heads of the Respawn channel there, has been amazing. Great feedback, helps me out whenever I need help. I can't say a bad thing about these people. They've been working with me extremely well since day one. Since I've signed up with Machinima, I've gotten 0 copyright claims. So apparently, when you get to work with Machinima, people can't easily fuck with you like they used to be able to do on my pages. You used to get all these false copyright claims. Now that shit doesn't fly anymore. So amazing. I mean, our business relationship is very successful. Obviously, I can't go into details about it because there's contractual reasons you can't say certain things. But I can tell you I'm doing really well right now for myself, and things are looking up. As long as everything keeps going as it's going, and we don't have any roadblocks, like for example, if government decides to pass that stupid bill, S.978, and then we have to figure shit out again and how to get around it. As long as that kind of stuff doesn't happen, right now things are going really well, and I am enjoying what I'm doing. Now that being said, that doesn't mean that everything is all, a bed of roses. There are days when I wake up and I don't feel well. There are days that I wake up and I have to play a game that I really don't want to finish, which has happened a couple times this year. There have been a couple fucking stinkers that I'm just like, man, I just really don't want to play this game again. But there's really not much else going on right now. I definitely want to put out new videos today. I don't want to leave everyone hanging. And I suffer through it, and, I do what I have to do. And there have been some things that have been busts. Earlier this year I was traveling and going to all different Street Fighter tournaments, covering all the new games, and it was fun for about 2 tournaments, and then my body started to wear out, really, to the point where when I was at final round, I was actually physically drained by Sunday of final round, and I didn't even go into the ballroom that day to even watch the finals because I was so physically drained. And then at what was it, Ultimate Fighting Game Championships, my back was so fucked up when I had to play in the Super Turbo tournament, which they decided to live stream at the end of the night. It was like freaking 11 at night, and here I am standing out all day. My back is fucking killing me, and I was just really fucked up during that tournament, that second half of that Saturday, because of the pain and everything. So there's been some hits and some misses. Let's face it. I'm not going to say absolutely no, this is great. I mean, I love doing what I'm doing. It's great to be able to work from home. It's great to be able to make your own schedule, to be able to completely control your destiny. Right now, I can decide if for the next month I want to really pound out all these games that are coming out, or I can say, fuck it. I'm going to sit back and do nothing for a month, and I won't make any money doing it, but that's my decision. And you know, this has been the first time in my life where I've had a job where I have complete control over what I'm doing. And it is an amazing, amazing feeling to be able to control your own destiny. You know, I know because my entire life until I started doing this a year ago, I was always under someone else's thumb. Someone was always holding me back, someone was always telling me what to do, and I would have all these great ideas and things that I always wanted to do wherever I worked, and basically you would get shot down repeatedly. And it's frustrating when you're under management your whole life, and you feel the management holds you back from being something bigger and greater than what you're doing on a daily basis. But at the same time, sometimes being in that kind of an environment is a safety net, meaning when I was at my previous job, I felt, you know, secure. I didn't know that the economy was going to suddenly turn and they were going to start laying off people left and right, which, by the way, it's not just me. They've laid off several waves of people since I got laid off, and the economy is worse than ever here in America. Anyone tells you the economy is getting better, they're fucking idiots or they're liars. The economy is actually getting worse. The only jobs that are really opening up are horrible line level $7 an hour jobs at fucking, you know, Burger King, or a retail job where you're not cherished as an employee, you're viewed as disposable, and it's not job security, and it's not even enough to pay cost of living in a place like Connecticut. You can't live off of a job like that. So the economy is horrible, and sometimes being in a job that really you don't even like, just to have job security, is a good thing. And I had that when I worked at my previous job of 5 years. I had health care, you know, that I wasn't paying out of the ass for. Right now I'm paying something like $400 a month for health insurance, which is absolutely astronomical, but that's the actual cost you have to pay when you don't have a corporation who has like a group medical plan for you in the United States. So there's positives and there's negatives about what I'm doing. Now, what I would like to say is, again, I already said thank you to the fans, but it is inspiring to me. I know that a lot of people say that I inspire them, okay? I've gotten hundreds, thousands of messages from people saying, Phil, you know, yes, you're entertaining, but understand your story of how you got knocked down so many times, you got laid off from your job, and you found a way to flip it and become successful is an inspirational story to us. And then there's other people who just say, listen, your videos are entertaining, and during a dark time in our lives, it really just kept us going. And I'm still getting them. I'm still getting it. Today I went to my P.O. box. I got another one about some poor guy over in England who had a really bad illness, and for like 6 months he really couldn't even leave his house. And he just watched my videos a lot, and it kept him positive, and he's better now. I mean, that's amazing to be getting this kind of feedback. Never in my wildest dreams did I believe that I would have a global presence. People internationally would be contacting me on a daily basis, giving me positive feedback, and that I'd be an inspiration to people like this. And if anything, this is so crazy how the internet and YouTube in particular have revolutionized the way that we communicate and have just changed the face of culture of the world. It's amazing. I never would have had any kind of a, even in all my days where I was, you know, good at Street Fighter or whatever, I never would have thought that I would have had this kind of a reach, a global reach or a global audience, and this many fans, and be able to touch so many people in a positive way. And I am very grateful for that opportunity. I mean, I can't tell you, it would actually hurt me if all of a sudden I couldn't do this anymore, because I know that what I'm doing is actually putting smiles on so many people's faces. And that's an amazing thing. And to lose that kind of reach, to lose that kind of audience, would probably be pretty hurtful, to be honest. But just you know, being able to inspire people. Shit, this guy who I know, and he's been in a couple of my playthroughs, but one of my fans went ahead and wrote a book. Look at this, a self-published book. He was, you know, inspired by you know, me basically pushing ahead and trying to do something for myself, and he said, I've always wanted to write. He worked on a book for years. He wrote a book, and he published it himself. Look at this. It looks like a book you would buy in a bookstore, and it looks amazing. It even has the listing. You know, it has the ISBN number on it and everything. And I'm going to read this book, and I'm going to probably talk about it in a future video to get, you know, to tell everyone about it, because it looks like it's a pretty cool book for, like, you know, maybe the youth, young adult audience, and it's definitely something that, you know, I'm proud that I have fans who are doing creatively awesome things like this, and they want to share them with me, okay? And then other fans who are so thoughtful. For example, I had another fan, again, I'm going to just check my P.O. box today, and there was a whole bunch of stuff in there, and a fan who had heard me, you know, playing my PS3, and my PS3 controller's battery had run out in a video. I said, well, hold on, bear with me, because I have to plug in my USB cable, and I have a short cable. The guy sent me a long USB cable, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I mean, I have some of the most thoughtful, some of the most, you know, interesting and original and bright fans, I think, anywhere. And despite what all these assholes say, I know a lot of people like to talk negatively about my fans and say, oh, it's just a bunch of young kids who like, he feels an asshole, so no one who could possibly like him could have any intelligence. Disregard those people. Those are the people who are ignorant. Those are the people who are always going to try to hold people back so that they feel better about themselves, okay? They see someone like me playing games on the internet, having fun, but also being truthful, doing things like the Hateful Truth Review series, getting a global voice, getting a voice that's getting known in the gaming media. Like I said, when I did my video about S.978, it completely blew up and everyone heard about it, and that's really how the word got out about that subject. People are going to be jealous, people are going to be angry. I've got haters, I've got trolls, people who I haven't talked to in years, people who I haven't seen since 2007 are going on these freaking interview shows and shit. Oh, DSP, he's an asshole, he's a piece of shit. Anyone who would follow him is a dick face. Like, come on, man, really, seriously? Like, why am I still even in your head or in your mouth? How could I really have, are you that jealous that I'm still a thought in your head? You know what I mean? There's promos for fighting game tournaments that I've never attended, have no plan of on attending, and I'm not even involved with the competitive Street Fighter community right now, and the entire promo for the tournament is about me. What the fuck? Like, are you really that mentally ill? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, get my name out of your mouth, you know what I mean? There's other things in the world to talk about besides trying to hate on me. And it seems like a lot of people make that a common theme, and oh, Phil's fans or Phil himself is an asshole or whatever. You know what? I'll take it in stride, and I say, you're always going to have haters. If you have haters and trolls, it means you're definitely doing something right, because there's something that they're jealous of that you have that they don't have, and that's the reason why they're like that. So, whenever you see people being like that about you and anything that you do in your life, just take it in stride and just keep on moving forward. That's my best advice to you. You're always going to have people, and sometimes it might be a giant group of people. When I was with the competitive Street Fighter community, most of the community didn't like me because they were all ass kissers. They all ass kissed the people who ran Shoryuken.com, who are, you know, the people who also run EVO, the biggest fighting game tournament in the country. I wouldn't even call it the national, because it really isn't the national tournament. It's just the biggest tournament because it's been the longest running one, and they did it before anyone else. There's no one who sanctioned it and said it's the U.S. Nationals. But there are a lot of people who, you know, they kiss their ass hardcore, and I was never an ass kisser any time in my entire life, and I said things, honest things, about things that were going on in the fighting game community with certain things, with certain net codes, that exposed people and exposed things that people didn't know. Next thing I know, I was like the black sheep of the Street Fighter community. How could you possibly say negative things, and how could you possibly expose these things, you know, for what they are? Well, that's because what I'm all about. I'm about the hateful truth. I will speak the truth, even if it means that I come across as being hateful. If the truth needs to be known, it needs to be known, okay? People shouldn't have the blinders put over their eyes just for the sake of something to grow, okay? It needs to be done properly. So, even then, the majority of the Street Fighter community still probably don't fucking like me, except for newcomers who really weren't back around, say, you know, 2006, 2007. But I don't care, you know what I mean? I just keep plugging along, and I'm just going to become bigger and better at what I do and become more well-known and more renowned or whatever word you want to put on it, and I don't let that shit get to me. And you shouldn't either. Whenever people badmouth people for whatever reason, whoever you're a fan of or whatever, you should always just stay positive and just do what you want to do with your life, okay? So anyway, I'm going long now and I'm running out of time, but I just wanted to say 1 year anniversary of me doing this full time. It's been an amazing experience. I have lots of plans for the future, which I don't want to talk about too much since you don't know whatever's going to happen. That's the one thing that is a negative, is it's not very stable. I have no idea if tomorrow, for whatever reason, Machinima could contact me and say, it's over. I knew that was going to happen when I was in the middle of that last sentence. So my camera, the time limit on it ran out and it cut off the video, so I'm editing this in to finish what I was saying. But yeah, what I'm doing right now isn't very stable. I don't know if the partnership program could get canceled tomorrow for whatever reason. The government could pass that stupid bill and completely shut me down, and then it's going to be back to drawing board again, and I have to figure out, gee, what do I do now? You know, I still have this global presence. I still have this global respect of people who want to know what I'm doing and are interested in my thoughts or whatever. Where do I focus that now that I can't do video game footage anymore? So there's a lot of things, considerations that I have to have, and you know, it gets nervous. It makes me nervous sometimes. It's nerve-wracking to know, you know, today I'm in the plenty, bountiful, you know, everything's going well, and the next week it could completely just be taken away from me. But it's worth it to know that, number one, you're having an overwhelming positive impact on so many people worldwide, and number two, to know that I have complete control of my destiny, and I can be the person I want to be, and I'm not being held back, and I'm not being and I'm not being, you know, told what to be or being molded into anything. I'm me. I'm being me. And I think that is a positive message to convey to everyone, that if you can just find a way to be you in life, you'll be happy, okay? It won't matter if there's 7 billion people who say that you're an asshole. If you are yourself and you're happy with being yourself, you know what I mean? You're going to have a success in your life. So yeah, the sky's the limit. It can only grow from here, and here I am a year later. You know, a year ago I didn't know how long I was going to be able to do this, and now already I'm attending New York Comic Con in a couple weeks. I'm planning to meet some people there and cover that. I'm going to MagFest in January down in Maryland. I've got people now contacting me recently about some other conventions next year that I might attend. I'm considering going to PAX, either PAX East or either PAX Prime or some PAX. I know there's like 7 PAX now. It's ridiculous. But I'm looking to branch out and do other stuff rather than just always be playing video games. And I think a lot of people enjoy that too, when I'm doing things outside of just playing the games, like either co-op with someone or even our trip footage of us going to these conventions and such. I think people really enjoy that a lot, and it's beneficial, you know, to everyone. And yeah, I'm so happy, I'm so positive, and I'm so grateful to everyone. A lot of people, a lot of the times, they ask me, Phil, what can we do for you? Because you give us free content all the time. What can we do for you? And a year ago, to be completely honest, I would have said something different. I probably would have said, you know, well, if you want to donate, you can donate, and you can do this kind of stuff. I'm not really into that anymore, simply because I feel that asking for people to donate is, you know, it's kind of like, it's facetious. It's not right. When I know that right now, at least I know I'm doing all right, okay? I'm making enough money to support myself. I don't want to ask anyone for donations, you know? Now, at one point, when I was just doing this for fun and I wasn't making any money doing it, that was completely different. So, I'm really not looking for donations or anything like that anymore. I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I'm doing okay as I am right now. All I can ask from everyone is to continue to watch my videos, okay? To continue to spread the word about me, because as you know, and I've said this a million times, I don't do the things that other people do. I'm not cross-promoting. You don't see me showing up in a Sean Anders video or Sean Anders, or whatever the hell you say his name, I don't know. Or, you know, every once in a while I'll talk about someone else, you know, on YouTube, but I don't do those crazy cross-promotional things. You don't see me pumping out content for Machinima Respawn so that I can somehow get noticed and then people will come to my page. You know, that's not what I'm about. I'm not about doing that. I'm about just doing what I do and doing it well. Playing games like an average Joe, playing a game from start to finish, enjoying it as much as you can, making some wisecracks and jokes and having fun during it, and then giving an honest review about how it feels about the game. And I think that's why people like my content. Not because it's a master level playthrough of these games, not because I'm some video editing whiz, not because I do amazing 1080p direct capture with fucking Dolby surround sound. You know, that's not what people watch my videos for. They want to have a good time when they watch my videos. And they feel like they're in the same room as me, watching with me, enjoying what I'm doing, enjoying, you know, sitting on the couch next to your buddy playing a game. That's really the whole idea behind my videos. And I'm glad that you've all come along for the ride. So again, if this is what you like, please continue to watch the videos and spread the word about me, because I'm purely word of mouth. I'm not using these other outlets to do things. I need you to help me in that regard. Spread the word about me. Like I said, I was hoping, and I know it was a very, you know, far-fetched goal. I wanted to have as many subscribers as of today as I have at my original Dark Side Phil channel. Now keep in mind, my Dark Side Phil channel opened in 2008, and as of today has 97,000 and change subscribers. This channel right now has like 91,000 and change, and I wanted to match that, okay? It didn't happen, but it doesn't mean that I'm not grateful, and I guess I did get a lot of subscribers during that time that I had mentioned that, but I'm grateful for what I have, and I'm grateful for my success. So please, continue to watch, continue to spread the word about me. We can only get better from here. Big things are coming. Again, as long as everything keeps going positively and nothing really changes, I have some ideas for some really cool stuff coming next year. Stick with me during this season. I know it's going to be an insane amount of footage. You don't have to watch everything, okay? I know you want to help me, but don't kill yourself trying to watch all the footage if you can't. If there's a game you're really not interested in or whatever, don't kill yourself to watch. Say, oh, I have to watch this to help Phil, you know? Watch what you want to watch and have fun while you're watching it. That's the message here. And hopefully these next couple months with all the releases coming out will be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So stick with me, and I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming up, and let's stay positive together, and together we can do great things, okay? Alright, so I'm Dark Side Phil. That is it for my one-year retrospective of being a full-time hardcore gamer. It's been quite a blast. Completely changed my life. I mean, just look, and I look completely different than I did a year ago. It's funny. Different hair, different, you know, I got a goatee, I've lost weight, everything is different. So, but it's all been positive. It's all been positive changes. And I'm in a better place in my life, definitely, now than I was a year ago. And even though everything could be taken from me tomorrow, I'm still extremely grateful, and I'm still extremely positive, and I'm going to keep plugging along and going, and I hope that you'll, you know, join me for that ride. Okay? So that's it. I'll see you guys for game footage very soon. Stay safe, and thanks a lot. I'm so appreciative of what you guys do for me, and I will see you later. Thanks.